Today we're going to step into the first chapter of the book of Hebrews. And I think I already expressed this, I really love the book of Hebrews. One of the things I love about it is it does a great job of following some of the types of patterns that Jewish authors and Jewish readers could really appreciate. And the first way that it does this is it creates what is kind of a thesis. You know, if you remember from writing papers in college, a thesis is that statement that starts off the writing and kind of introduces what's going to be covered. And even the first 4 verses of the book of Hebrews does that for us. Now, yesterday I showed you how with my blue and orange highlighting here that I've got these sections, and we're going to talk about those 10 sections in the book of Hebrews. You know, these first 4 verses, though, they set up that thesis for the entire book. So I'm going to switch here today. We're in the English Standard Version. We're going to use the English Standard Version quite a bit. It's a wonderful translation. The New American Standard is probably my favorite, especially for Bible study, but it doesn't read as smoothly. It's a little bit more clunky and just kind of in the experience. The sentences don't, it's more word for word, so the sentences don't translate as smoothly. So let's go ahead, though. These first 4 sentences: long ago, at many times and in many ways, God spoke to our fathers by the prophets. But in these last days, he's spoken to us by his Son, whom he appointed the heir of all things, through whom also he created the world. He's the radiance of the glory of God and the exact imprints of his nature, and he upholds the universe by the word of his power. After making purification for sins, he sat down at the right hand of the Majesty on high, having become as much superior to angels as the name he has inherited is more excellent than theirs. So this piece here has really 4 statements in here. And these 4 statements align with what the Old Testament did. Okay, so this sets it up and says, here's what God did. So in the past, at many times, God spoke. And Hebrews 1:2 is saying, but in these last days and in various ways. So then he did this. Now he did this. Okay. Then we've got God spoke. He has spoken to our forefathers, to us, through the prophets, now by his Son. Okay. So these first 4 verses, while acting as kind of a thesis for the rest of the book, they're setting us up to see the connection with the rest of the Jewish scriptures, so with the Old Testament. The Old Testament was all about this, and here's how it's filled. I really love this about here. So that's the first 4 verses. Now, one of the things that I love, and I'm looking at a piece of commentary right now, that says the speaker is the same. So the writer of Hebrews emphasizes that the word God, that's the word God who spoke in the Old Testament, is the same God who has spoken through his Son. It's the same God. That there's also continuity with those he's speaking to. So the continuity of those addressed. He spoke to our forefathers, but now he's speaking to us. Okay, so the listeners are the same group of people. Forefathers, it says, is a general way of referring to all of God's people in the Old Testament. And the same Greek word translated fathers or forefathers is used in Hebrews 3:9, when Psalm 2:8, and Hebrews 8:9, when Jeremiah 31 is referred to. So that's going to be a common theme throughout the book of Hebrews. We're gonna see that throughout the book of Hebrews, connections with the Old Testament are made. And that's really important. A lot of times I think we tend to think that just the New Testament matters. That's the part about Jesus, and that's the part that we really need to pay attention to. Well, the New Testament stands on the wisdom of the Old Testament. It stands on the prophecy of the Old Testament. It stands on the people of the Old Testament. So I think this is something to really focus on. And as we work through the book of Hebrews, pay attention to the places where something is called back to the past. Something is referred to from ancient times or from our forefathers' times. We've even got places where specific actors or characters, we might call them, of the Old Testament are referred to. Now, this first section, going past the first 4 verses, starting with verse 5, this is where we get into this first section of doctrine. Who is Jesus is the key to this. Who is Jesus? So, what is it that is so special about Jesus? What is it that makes it so that we should care who Jesus is? Let's go ahead and read in here. For to which of the angels did God ever say? So he's contrasting Jesus with the angels. He's saying, you're my son. Today I've begotten you. Or again, I'll be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. And again, when he brings the firstborn into the world, he says, let all God's angels worship him. Did he ever say this of the angels? No, he did not. Of the angels, he says, he makes his angels winds and his ministers a flame of fire. But to the Son, he says, but of the Son, he says, your throne, O God, is forever and ever. The scepter of uprightness, the scepter of your kingdom. You have loved righteousness and hated wickedness. Therefore, God, your God, has anointed you with the oil of gladness beyond your companions. And, let me turn the page here. You, Lord, laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning, and the heavens are the work of your hands. Now, listen to what we're hearing there. We're saying, who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? Who is Jesus? This is saying Jesus laid the foundation of the earth in the beginning. If you're not hearing that Jesus is God, you're not hearing this passage. And the heavens are the work of your hands. They will perish, but you remain. They will all wear out like a garment. Like a robe, you'll roll them up. Like a garment, they'll be changed. But you are the same, and your years will have no end. So Jesus' years have no end. You might be thinking, well, he lived 33 years. But see, he is risen, and he lives in eternity prior and after time. And to which of the angels has God ever said, has he ever said, sit at my right hand until I make your footstool, your enemies, a footstool for your feet? Okay? And these are quotes, by the way. These are quotes pointing back. A lot of them are pointing back to Psalms. Are they not all ministering spirits sent out to serve for the sake of those who are to inherit salvation? So, who is Jesus? In this case, Jesus is being compared to the angels. Okay, so we start up the passage with those first 4 verses, setting for us the thesis of the entire book, saying, there were the forefathers he spoke to. He told us about what was coming, our fathers, by the prophets, but in these last days he's spoken to us by his Son. So there's that contrast. And then next, We're saying, who is Jesus? And to start that, we're contrasting Jesus with the angels, saying, the angels are amazing. The angels are powerful beings. But Jesus is so much more than what an angel is. And we're going to see this pattern continue. And that's it for today.